a minute.
Okay.
This is the Edition Unfiltered podcast.
Vibes and energy is a really true indication of how somebody is and how they make you feel. And the guest that's joining us today has brought on the vibes. Honestly, have never met somebody through the phone. I have felt their energy and I have felt just happy being in the presence of them, if that makes sense. And because of this very special feeling that I got, I felt like we needed to do something special. It needed to be just as special as the guest that's joining us. And so we have a series, a very exclusive series that will follow her journey. And this is somebody who I've come to know is absolutely beautiful inside and out. Just one of those people that you want to keep talking to. And because I felt that, this really seemed fitting. So time I killed the suspense, because obviously there is no suspense. You already know who I'm talking about. And if you don't, then just a disclaimer. At the end of the episode, I'm going to tell you, you're going to be in love, because we have here Margaret Kariuki, aka Maggy Vibe, aka Social Butterfly, aka honestly the best person ever, aka Maggy. So here's my introduction. Welcome to Edition Unfiltered, Maggy.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Well,
Thank
you for being here. Thank you for taking the time out of your very busy schedule to come and accommodate me and be here. But before I get into this, I just want to get all the compliments out of the way. Congratulations on your new series on Amazon Prime. That must be a really, really big deal.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
I saw glimpses of it. It's not available in the States, so I saw a little like previews of the things that you've posted and the videos that you've had, and you in a sari. Wow.
Did you see how I wore that? That sari was made for me.
It was made for you. You put the rest of us to shame, to be fair. Now I have to question myself when I think, should I not? I don't know. Maggy is going to be there, so I'm going to not do that.
I should see you in a sari before we judge. I should see you in one.
It's probably one of those moments you'd want to take back. So I'll save you the trouble. Just take my word for it.
I'm sure you're fine. You're just being modest.
So let's start off easy. Tell me about the character that you play.
Well, first of all, in the show, my name is called Kwamboka Dolakia Nyongo. So this incorporates the family name. You know how Indians are. So you must get into the family and get the name to be yours.
Yeah.
So my name is called Kwamboka Dolakia Nyongo. And I'm the wife to a guy called Suresh. Suresh Dolakia.
What Indian name out there?
So I must start by saying that the show is called Happy Family Conditions Apply. To everyone who's watching this or listening to this, you can find it on Amazon Prime. So it's called Happy Family Conditions Apply. And guess who is the conditions? I am the conditions.
You are.
I am the conditions. So basically, it's a family sitcom. So you can expect a lot of laughter from it. It's a very easy watch. And on a weekend, you can binge watch it with your family and just enjoy the vibe. It entails a family of 4 generations, all Indians, now plus me who's there. And so you can see, and they all live together. So you can see how there's a lot of conflict. You know, it showcases as a happy family. Every person wants to be seen like they're from a happy family, like they're living the best life. But under that cover, you take that cover off, there's a lot going on, like so much that you cannot even believe.
Yes, and the grass is greener on the other side.
Exactly. Yeah. Until you get to the other side and you're like, oh, okay, I actually have to water this grass. It's not just green by itself. So it's basically a very dysfunctional family whereby you get the first generation and the last generation. They're always clashing because right now people have really changed, like from the socials to the youngsters. So they live together and you can see the older generation and the younger one, they're always clashing on the ideas, on the lifestyle. So you can imagine the amount of laughter in that one. So it's pretty
basically good. Like every Indian family. You've just described all of us, all billion of us.
All families are like that. But what I love most about this show is that it shows, what do you call it? It shows things that other people are afraid of showing. So it includes things like homosexuality. It includes things like what do you call stealing? What do you call that? Stealing? Theft.
Theft.
Theft. Yeah, it includes people stealing, and it's not just speaking something. It includes things like stealing ideas and all that. The conflict. Now, me, I also come in where like it portrays the racism that goes on, especially with Indians and not wanting to marry from any other tribe. So that is where I come in, because we're just trying to break barriers from all these. We've put these walls, these high walls, and you don't want to bring them down for anything or anyone. So that's what I have about it. It incorporates everything together. So you can just see a different feel from it.
From the brief moment I watched the trailer, I can see the barriers being broken down. I can see all of what you've described, and it has, I think it's made it in such a way with the comedic tone that it gets to people as opposed to having more serious. Because this is a serious issue, like racism, not marrying outside of the family, homosexuality. All of these are serious things that need to be taken into account. And the series kind of makes it out in a way that is digestible for the regular audience, especially people in India who are still not so comfortable with these things.
Yeah.
So when it gets here, I should be the first viewer of it.
I don't know how you'll watch it, especially if you told me that in your states you don't quite have the Amazon Prime.
It's not available. Even YouTube, I tried to get it on YouTube, and it's like it says it's not available in your country.
So what you can do is, for YouTube, I'll send you a link. So Amazon actually did something very special the other weekend. On Saturday, they dropped the first episode of Happy Family on YouTube. So you can watch it over there on Amazon Prime's page. I can share the link with you. So at least you'll get a feel of how the show is. But I'm telling you, the minute you watch that first episode, you'll want to watch all other episodes. So just be warned. Just be warned. Yeah. And one more thing about the show is I'm speaking in Hindi.
I'm sorry.
Yes. Speaking in Hindi. I should actually introduce myself in Hindi right now.
No, why didn't you do that? Come on, introduce yourself in Hindi.
Okay, here we go. It's 1, 2, but it's not too much. Tori. So, मेरा नाम Margaret Kariuki है.
I'm sorry about that.
What drinks? Oh, because I had Jill. So I know that. And when I had to take some training when I went there, but let me just give that story once we get to that question.
Okay, cool. Tell me about the character that you play. Is she like you, right, as a person, or is it like a completely different character that you had to play?
It was me. It was totally me. One thing I love about most of the roles that I'm casted for, I think they just like my personality, and they don't want to change it. So I always get things that I'm in my comfort zone and things that I actually get. That's why I enjoy doing it, because I don't have to change much. Of course, acting is getting into character and not being yourself for a while. And I enjoy that. But I try to also portray myself in that character. I try to bring that. Kwamboka is very bubbly. She's a DJ in this film. So I'm not a DJ in real life, but you can imagine that a DJ's life.
Yes.
I basically like my life. I like outdoors. I like dancing. I like music. So yeah, it was pretty much me. I just had a few issues with, because I didn't understand first if they wanted me to change, like getting into the, the cultures of Indians. I didn't want to be too out there. So I was a bit controlled. But yeah, it was pretty good. So Kwamboka is me. I am Kwamboka. So nothing much.
Okay. So when I watch this, I should remember watching this. I'm also watching or learning about you as a person.
Yes, you can call it that.
Speaking of watching you, I'm going to make this sound so creepy, but I promise you, I intend not to be that creepy. When I was on stalking mode of everything about you, I came across your YouTube page, right? And so first of all, I have to say that I feel like the camera, and I'm not saying this because you're here, I'm just general. I feel like the camera is meant for you, because I was watching the videos, like the construction video, the one where you did like the cocktails ones, the one where you went for a massage. Okay, so basically you can see that I really stalked you. But my point was, well, my point is that I can see all of these people around, but your vibe kind of pulled me to you. Like, I just wanted to keep watching you as opposed to anyone else. So I definitely think that if I go watch this, I'm pretty sure I'm going to have that same feeling, whereas it's just like drawn to you. No, I mean it. I told my friend this as well, and I was telling her that I was watching it, and no, I wasn't telling my friend. I was telling my sister this, and I was like, she's kind of the person that just made me want to look at her and then scroll to the parts where you were talking. So I'm excited to see that first episode whenever I do.
That's so sweet of you to say, and I love such feedback. It makes me get better and better. Like even for my next episodes that I will be doing. And I really appreciate it. Thank you. I hope you subscribed. I hope you just didn't watch and watch and watch.
No, I did. But you haven't posted anything in like 3 months or five months.
Actually, more than 5 months. Yeah. So what happened is YouTube. I started YouTube also in 2020. I think 2020 was that year that I was trying everything, whatever goes. And for some reason, I find myself that I'm really good at these things. But consistency was the issue.
Yeah, consistency is the issue.
So I'm struggling with that. But the minute I would love to take it as a full-time thing, because I think from the way you saw my YouTube videos, they're not just recorded like just basically anyhow. I want them structured in a specific way. I don't just like taking videos with my phone or just, being casual about it. I want to go the professional way because that's how I started. I don't want to start up here and then just the quality goes down. No, I want to maintain it at a certain point. But that is also a job.
That is a job. That is a really big, time-consuming job.
And it's also, first of all, for me, I haven't really reached a point where I'm monetized by YouTube. So it's also costly. It also takes up your time. You have to create this whole concept. And so my videos basically include me like interviewing creatives, as you saw. It also needs you booking them and getting the spaces to shoot. Unless I do that as full time, I don't know. But I'll get back to it. I enjoyed so much, so I'll have to definitely get back to it.
I'm glad you say that because that was going to be my next thing was when are you going to get back to it? Because now I'm like, there's no more. There's no more for me to stop.
So there's one thing that's gonna make you very happy. So when I went to India, I took a bunch of content. So I have it all. I just haven't edited it all together. But I have a video showcasing my journey to Bollywood, how I was trained to do Hindi, Garba dancing lessons. I used Mumbai train. So I did a bunch of videos. So you're going to enjoy that. I have like 8 videos for Mumbai. Well, so that's what I want to produce first before I get back to the normal content.
That's really good. But now I feel like you're Netflix, because Netflix does this so much is they have amazing content in some series and then they take like 6 years to release the next season. So I'm like, okay, Maggy, please hurry up.
I'm gonna do my best. Honestly, this is so motivating. Finding people who actually tell you that they enjoy your content and what you produce. It actually encourages you to do more. So actually, this weekend I am dropping something. So you wait.
My little ringer on YouTube will give me a notification. It's something I can look forward to the weekend here.
I'm glad you can.
Speaking of your trip to India, I want to talk about that. As an outsider, obviously not Indian.
Yeah.
How was India? How was it? Just like the full experience.
India was, I like to say, I've been asked this question severally, especially from people who've just realized that I was in India. But most people thought that I shot here because I didn't share much when I was there. But it was just an experience. It was a wholesome experience, I was there for 4 months.
Yes.
So it was very intense, and I didn't just go as a tourist. You know how people go as a tourist and you're taken care of. You just go to the touristy sites. I went there and I just went straight to work. So I was submerged into the culture. The culture shock, first of all, was there so much. But there was nothing I couldn't take, really. I really enjoyed my time there. let's start with the people.
Okay, let's start with the people.
The people were so kind to me. I didn't expect that. I remember I was so worried, especially even my mom was a bit worried. She was like, so you're going to India. Do you know anyone there? I'm like, no. Who's gonna take care of you? Are they racist? We've seen from videos. Are they racist? Are they gonna love you? You know? And then they were like, my mom was a bit protective because she's like, I love people. I genuinely just love people. And she was like, you're gonna get hurt if you love the people and they don't love you back.
Right.
You see? But I'm telling her, Mom, if I don't try, how will I ever know? You know?
Oh, yeah.
I will never know. But surprisingly, I went there and was just loved. I mean, Kwamboka was just, I think I was the most loved person on set because I'm not the type of person to just speak to the actors only, you know? I speak from the top to the bottom. Everyone was just a friend, you know? And everyone took such good care of me. They made it so easy for me, you know, because I felt like I'm also at home. That I call India right now my second home. Yeah. I also loved the food. The food.
The food is,
Oh my God.
the food is phenomenal.
The first 2 weeks, because I stayed in a hotel, the first 2 weeks, I was just eating, anything. Because I didn't realize there was so much to try in India. Like every place has different food. So I was just trying this, trying that, and trying that. But now after the 2-3 weeks, I was like, I'm done with the chili. I cannot have no more chili. I just want something homemade. So they moved me to an Airbnb where I could cook for myself. Because, you know, if you're eating in a hotel, everything, usually breakfast chili, lunch chili, everything, you know.
Yeah.
So I went to an Airbnb and that is at least I was able to cook for myself. But I still went back to getting hotel food.
It's addictive, isn't it? It's like one of those things that you can't stop at all.
No, it was something else. I loved it. So I went during I don't know, it was summer or it was close to monsoon. So you can imagine the humidity. That one I struggled a lot. I remember I didn't shoot for a few days because of the rashes. I got like my skin was just reacting to the humidity, which was so different from home. So for a few days I was a bit ill for a few days, but then I got in and I just adapted real quick. So that was another thing as well. So, but I loved the whole place. I loved visiting different temples, learning the language, just talking to different people. You should have seen me. I look like a celebrity there. People were just taking pictures with me out of nowhere. People just, of course you did. People just come to me and they're like, can you please take a picture with you? And I like that because they were kind, first of all. They were polite. So I didn't mind at all. So yeah. I had an amazing time. The people there were so nice. And I think that's why I stayed I even extended. After the shoot, I told them, you know what? I need to stay here for at least 3 more weeks to get to know, because I was just working. I was like, you know what? Now it's time to actually enjoy India. So I stayed there for like 3 more weeks and then I came back home. Yeah, I had a good experience. I did.
Sounds like you had a wonderful experience. You were literally on top of your game at that point in time. India does that. You know, India really goes there and it kind of pushes you up. The people make you feel like you're celebrities, especially you because you're not Indian. And so they must be like, oh my God, who is she? Where is she? You know, just like that. And the amount of love that you get because you're so different is something that you probably won't get anywhere else.
That's so true. I came back to Kenya and nobody was staring at me and I'm like, what is going on, guys? I'm here. Come on.
Like, look at me, please. I'm
here. But yeah, I loved it. I didn't mind that at all. I used to go I became like a local. I used to go on my own. I didn't wait for the team to, you know, take me around and all that. I could take autos by myself. I could go to the market. I even learned how to bargain.
Well, to be fair, you should already learn how to bargain since you're in Nairobi. That's a goal to know.
I mean, there's no way you would overcharge me. I was like, guys, I know how much this costs, so I'm paying that amount. I'm not a foreigner, I'm not paying tourist rates. I am Indian.
Well, you know, you're lucky that you can get away with that. When I go to India, there's no way I always get overcharged. There was like this fruit guy who was selling sitafar. Do you know what that is? The green thing. Custard apple.
Aha, okay.
I don't know what they call it in Nairobi, but it's like, anyway. So I went up to him and my grandma wanted some. So I went to ask him, I was like, how much is it? And he's like, 4 for 500 rupees. And I was like, okay. But bought the 4 for 500 rupees. I went in the car and I went with my brother's friend. And he asked me, how much did you pay for these? And I was like, 500 rupees. He's like, are you crazy? Go return them. That's
They like price it, but how? You're Indian. I don't know. Do they like know the difference with the accent? Or how?
Yeah. So when I start speaking Gujarati specifically, my Hindi, I feel like you can't tell that it's not my first language. But when I start speaking Gujarati, it's like a whole different ballgame. Anyone would know that this person is just not. He's not Indian.
It happens. It's like being from Nairobi and going to coast. They will be like, oh, well, umetoka bara. They will know. So I guess it happens everywhere.
Yeah.
Yes, let's just say it happens everywhere. But that was not a factor to make my say that. I actually had a good time.
From the excitement and just in your voice, I can tell you had a really good time in India. Like a really good time in India. And question specifically, my friend asked me to ask you because she went to India recently after like, I think 10 years or 15 years, I don't know, a really long time basically. And she was like, I want to know what it feels like from somebody who goes in as an outside perspective. So she's enjoyed me asking that question. So speaking of the whole experience that you said you had to, I'm more interested in Garba, that you did Garba lessons. Like, can we talk about that, please?
This is one video that you'll enjoy because I'll also share it.
Yes.
But, I thought since I'm Black, I thought I could, we are dancers. We move with the flow.
Oh, yeah. You guys have like that rhythm in your bones.
Yes. And I went to India and I don't know shit. What is you?
Not aware of this.
I clearly can dance. And I remember they asked me, so Maggy, of course, there's always a dance in an Indian film. So I'm like, bring it on, bring it on. But I was very excited because I could just see how they are. I love watching Indian dances, especially. They just flow and they're beautiful, their last song. So I really wanted to do that. I remember I got to India. First of all, I was 2 weeks late. So I missed out on a lot of trainings. I missed out on the workshop, they had already trained. They had already started shooting. They were almost giving up on me because of my visa. I was denied visa thrice.
Wow.
Yes. So it was a bit frustrating. And so by the time they were almost giving up on me, they were like, you know what, it's okay. We'll find someone who get a visa fast. Because, they can't wait for just one cast.
Yeah.
And they wanted to move on. So when I went to India, I remember I got there, I rested the following day. I became very sick the day after Holi. It was Holi. I remember I didn't get out on Holi. I felt
oh my God,
so
you
bad.
missed Holi.
I missed Holi and I was in Mumbai.
And now you have to just go back for that.
I will. Next year, I'm doing more than just Holi. Trust me. So I got ill that day. But the good thing is they always send someone at my office every day to just check up on me and see if I'm okay. But then after the day after Holi, now we went for the dance lessons. And I remember and then that is how I met like everybody else from the cast. Not most of them from the cast because I didn't meet them earlier. So it was like the introduction day and also now the dancing day. And I could see the whole hall. You know how they have like a lot of dancers just practicing? I could just see them moving so swiftly. And I'm like, wait a minute, is this what I'm supposed to do? And they were, how Garba, you dance in circular motions and can't miss a step because you're confused. The one in front of you.
And it's like a whole train. Everyone's going to clash into you.
It would be, if you are dancing on your, like on the standstill, that's okay. You can disguise yourself and hide.
Yeah.
But now you have to move and move. Oh my God. I have never been so stressed all my life. Even exams don't stress me that much.
It is a very stressful situation.
And I think it was more stressful because I was supposed to, my shoot, the first day on set was the following day. So I just had like an afternoon to practice. Just one afternoon.
Oh no. And Garba.
That's not even the worst part. The worst part is that I knew, like that was my introduction scene. And I knew all attention would be on me. Who is this Black girl who doesn't know how to dance? I tried. I remember I remember I told them I will not dance with everybody else. I'll remain here and I will remain with the trainer so that at least I can get step by step, one by one. So it was really good and she taught me. She was very patient with me. Every time I didn't get something, they were very patient with me. They gave me a lot of time. And so they even sent me videos of the same act to go practice in the hotel because I'm like, I don't know, everyone got 2 steps. And everything else was I was just forgetting everything else. I don't know if it's because of the tension or everything. Plus, I felt a bit heavy on my feet because I wasn't used to such type of swift dancing. The following day, I remember that night, I didn't even sleep because I was just like, in the morning, you have to wake up very early, go to the hotel rooftop and start dancing. Like I was just putting my phone on my head. I could see me on the rooftop. But imagine I did it. So on episode 4, you can see me dancing now. So it was pretty good. I loved it. And now when we were dancing Garba, we were given this, this, I don't know what you call that, the skirts, the heavy skirts.
The giant juries.
Those ones, I think they were heavy. They were heavy at the bar.
Yes.
I heard it was quite an experience. Yeah. I had a good time.
Now, this year in Nairobi, when there's like Navratri, you should go and showcase your skills because clearly you worked hard for them. And you should go and do it.
I actually did once. There's this event that was held by Crown. I don't know if it's Crown Paints. So they had some event. They have like this Indian. The families go. It's like a family day. So they are dancing. There's food stalls all over. There's music. So I was invited by one of the members. And now in the end of the show, they started dancing Garba and they called me out with the mic. A friend of us has been in India and I'm sure she knows this dance. Please come here. I'm like, what are you doing? What are you doing? Embarrassing me. But I actually danced well. I just joined the whole circle and we did our thing. So I'm pretty good right now. Yeah, I love it.
All right. Well, I'm going to keep my eye out on episode 4 and the video so that I could see those skills brought to life. That would be, now that I know this story, it's going to make me watching that a lot more enjoyable, as I'm sure with everyone else.
Yeah,
the same way. So Hindi, now let's go to the Hindi part of it. You had the classes that you had to take. How did that go? Like, did you have to, because I know when you learn a new language, and you have the accents, it's like your mouth moves different ways. And so when you speak differently, you have to, like, especially with Hindi and all of that stuff, you have to use
an accent.
Like there needs to be power in when you say "ti" and when you say, all of things. It needs to be there. And that's not usually there when you speak English or Kiswahili or anything else. So how was it for you?
So I actually started doing my training. I told you I was a bit late, so they had to do like some virtual training first. And it wasn't that bad. First of all, when I auditioned, I didn't know I would be speaking in Hindi. So when I got the role, and that is not when they told me, and it was just a surprise. I was like, okay, you know what? I'll still do it. I was like, I'll try it. Like, you can't know until you try. So I was like, I'll still try. So on the virtual calls, mostly they focused on the script, not like the whole language.
Okay, so just
get the script. So get these lines in the script. First of all, they read to me the whole script and they had to make me understand what it's about so that I am not floating and just knowing my lines. And I told you it's a comedy show. So I am not supposed to know to be fluent in it. So if it's a certain word, I am supposed to say it differently so that, because I'm trying to impress my mother-in-law, but I still don't know. So she's so mad because I mentioned everything is wrong. Everything is wrong. And remember, Eva, like I keep saying, Mujhe hati do. I keep saying, just give me an elephant. So everything was just misspelled and mispronounced. So that was also part of the comedy. But I remember there's a scene that we had to do and it was very intense and he had to talk fast and it had a lot of action. I remember I forgot my lines in Hindi. Like I forgot everything, There's so much you're doing. You have to know what others are saying. First of all, that was another challenge. You're on set, everybody's speaking in Hindi. You don't know what time you're supposed to laugh because you don't understand. You know what I'm saying, but you don't have everything in your head. It's too much. So you have to just be very attentive to their reactions because you don't want to be on set and everybody else is laughing and and you don't know what it's
Yeah.
you can't have a blank face. So but I had a good time. Like I was telling you about that one episode. And the directors just told me, you know what, Maggie? Just say what you want to say. Just forget all this. Just say what you want to say. And I spoke in Swahili. Yeah, they were like, you know what? We're actually taking it. So make that they made me say like 5 lines in Swahili because they reenacted an episode. Like, oh, this is a spoiler. I don't want to spoil it. This episode is not yet out.
Okay, don't spoil it then.
I will not spoil that for you. But there's a point in the film where I'm speaking in Swahili, and they allow me to do that because it also brought a very different element, like from my side. I'm not just speaking in their language. So they were like, you know what, this is actually perfect, and this is what we are using. Oh, in the song part, in the Garba song part, there's a place they say it's Jumbo Bana. Jumbo Bana. And everybody was just saying Jumbo, but it was so good. So good. I loved it. I just felt at home.
Yeah, but I think that's one of those things that you would feel like at home with.
I think I am so much in love with this film, or what is going on? Because I feel so excited whenever I'm talking about it.
But it's a good thing. It's your works of art that you're excited about. So completely justified. 100% justified.
Every time I'm speaking about it, you can just
the excitement needs to be there. Who's gonna watch it if you're not even excited about it? If you're like, oh yeah, whatever.
Nice. Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Right. So let's go back a couple of steps to the audition phase. How did this come across? So a little context. I know we spoke about this before, but for anyone that doesn't know, Bollywood has a reputation for being nepotistic, business, family-owned stuff. And so just getting your foot into the door is really, really hard to do. And you just landed a whole Amazon Prime series. So
yes, I did that.
You did that. Take us through it. How did it happen from the moment that you learned about it all the way down to you found out about the part? How did you feel? What was like, was it surreal? Walk us through those moments.
Before you actually walk us through those moments, I think you deserve some time to think about it because curiosity never really hurts anybody. And I think this would be the perfect time to plant a seed of curiosity in our listeners and have them come back for the next part of this exclusive series that I've created for you. And while you wait, I have an idea of what you can do. Go ahead and watch Happy Family Conditions Apply on Amazon Prime and wait for the scene that comes up where Maggie is showcasing her Garba skills. And if you don't want to do that, you can head over to her YouTube and watch her interview all these wonderful creators. Or if you want something more personal, head on to her Instagram, Maggy_vibe, which you can find on the Edition Unfiltered page, and follow her until you wait. That can help kill some time. It can even maybe help ease the curiosity or spark it, whatever way it works for you. And so I'll leave you with that. I think that's my cue to go. Cool. See you at the next part.